Welcome to the channel, and welcome to another video. In this video, we delve into the massive industry responsible for making Canada one of the richest countries in the world. We will look at the extent of the trade, its origin, and how it contributed to making Canada a global power. As a North American country, Canada has emerged as a prominent player on the world stage, evolving from its humble beginnings in the fur trade to a significant global power. Over the course of its history, Canada has undergone remarkable transformations, both domestically and internationally, shaping its identity as a nation and positioning itself as a key player in global affairs. This video looks into Canada's journey, tracing its trajectory from the fur trade era to its present position as a rising power in the world. The fur trade era played a pivotal role in shaping Canada's early economic development and establishing its position within the global trade network. The trade in furs, particularly beaver pelts, was highly lucrative and attracted European traders to the region. This period marked the beginning of significant economic and cultural exchanges between European settlers and Indigenous peoples, contributing to the formation of Canada's unique multicultural identity. The fur trade quickly became a cornerstone of Canada's economy, driving exploration, colonization, and economic growth. The demand for furs, especially beaver pelts, in Europe skyrocketed, as they were used to create fashionable hats and clothing. European fashion trends created a massive market for furs, leading to a surge in trade and opening avenues for economic prosperity. Indigenous peoples, who had long been engaged in the fur trade, played a crucial role as intermediaries between European traders and the vast resources of the Canadian wilderness. They possessed invaluable knowledge of the land, its resources, and effective trapping techniques, which they shared with the European traders. This cooperation allowed the fur trade to thrive and established a foundation for the early economic relationships in the region. The economic benefits of the fur trade were manifold. European traders established a network of trading posts across the Canadian wilderness, facilitating the exchange of goods and furs. These trading posts served as important economic and social centers, attracting both European settlers and Indigenous peoples. The fur trade also created employment opportunities, both directly and indirectly. European traders employed local Indigenous trappers and engaged them as suppliers. This provided Indigenous communities with access to European goods, fostering trade and stimulating economic activity within their communities. Additionally, the fur trade created demand for transportation services, such as canoes and sleds, as well as for the manufacture of goods like blankets, guns, and metal tools. These economic activities stimulated local economies and helped spur the growth of specialized industries. The fur trade era also had a profound impact on the early settlement and exploration of Canada. European traders, known as voyageurs, established trading posts along major waterways, including the St. Lawrence River and the Great Lakes, to facilitate trade with Indigenous communities. These trading posts, such as Fort Niagara and Fort Michilimackinac, served as important strategic outposts and became focal points for the expansion of European settlement. The fur trade not only led to the establishment of trading posts, but also encouraged the exploration and mapping of vast territories. Explorers such as Samuel de Champlain and Pierre Gaultier de Varennes ventured deep into the uncharted territories in search of new fur-bearing regions. Their expeditions helped to expand geographical knowledge, contributing to the cartographic understanding of North America. The fur trade also played a significant role in determining territorial claims and shaping the geopolitical landscape of the region. European powers, most notably France and Britain, competed fiercely for control over the fur trade, leading to conflicts such as the French and Indian War. These conflicts ultimately determined the colonial powers' influence and control over vast territories in North America. Furthermore, the fur trade era fostered a profound cultural exchange between European settlers and Indigenous peoples. Through trade interactions, Europeans learned from Indigenous peoples about the land, survival skills, and effective trapping techniques. At the same time, Indigenous communities had access to European goods, which introduced new technologies, tools, and products into their societies. This exchange of goods and knowledge led to the development of a distinct Métis culture, arising from the intermarriage between European fur traders and indigenous women. The Métis people played a crucial role in the fur trade industry as skilled hunters, trappers, and interpreters, acting as intermediaries between the European and indigenous communities. Furthermore, the fur trade era laid the foundation for Canada's multicultural identity. As the fur trade flourished, Canada became a battleground for colonial rivalries between European powers. The British ultimately gained control over large parts of Canada through the Treaty of Paris in 1763, marking the beginning of their colonial dominance in the region. Under British rule, Canada experienced significant growth and transformation. The arrival of British loyalists fleeing the American Revolution in the late 18th century led to the establishment of new colonies and the expansion of Canadian territories. The British North America Act of 1867 united three separate colonies, Canada, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, into a single dominion known as Canada, laying the foundation for the country we recognize today. Throughout the 19th century, Canada expanded its territories westward through the acquisition of Rupert's Land from the Hudson's Bay Company and negotiated purchases of lands from Indigenous peoples. The completion of the Canadian Pacific Railway in 1885 further solidified Canada's territorial unity and enabled greater economic integration. The nation-building project focused on infrastructure development, attracting immigrants, and fostering economic growth. Immigration played a crucial role in shaping Canada's national identity and fostering diversity. Waves of immigrants from Europe, particularly during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, contributed to Canada's multicultural fabric. The assimilation of policies of the past eventually gave way to multiculturalism, officially recognized by the Canadian government in 1971 as a cornerstone of the nation's identity. The early 20th century marked Canada's emergence as a participant in global affairs. Canada's contributions during World War I and World War II highlighted its military capabilities and commitment to international peacekeeping. The sacrifices made by Canadian soldiers on the battlefields of Europe solidified Canada's reputation as a trusted ally and helped secure a separate seat for Canada at the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. The aftermath of World War II witnessed the establishment of global institutions aimed at fostering international cooperation and addressing global challenges. Canada played a key role in the creation of the United Nations in 1945 and actively contributed to peacekeeping efforts worldwide. Canada's involvement in the formation of NATO in 1949 further solidified its position as a Western power. Canada's rise on the world stage also owes much to its strong economy and participation in global trade. The discovery of vast natural resources, including oil, natural gas, minerals, and timber, propelled economic growth and positioned Canada as an important player in the global resource market. Canada's proximity to the United States, its largest trading partner, has fostered a deep economic integration between the two countries. The signing of the Canada-US Free Trade Agreement in 1988 later expanded into the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, and the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, created one of the world's largest trading blocs and solidified Canada's economic ties with its southern neighbor. Additionally, Canada has actively pursued trade agreements with countries around the world, expanding its reach and diversifying its export markets. Agreements such as the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, CETA, with the European Union, and the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, have enhanced Canada's access to global markets and positioned it as a preferred trading partner. Canada's rise as a global power has been marked by its commitment to multilateralism and global engagement. As a founding member of the United Nations, Canada has consistently advocated for human rights, peacekeeping, and global cooperation. Its diplomatic efforts and contributions to international development have positioned Canada as a compassionate and responsible actor on the global stage. Furthermore, Canada's commitment to addressing global challenges, including climate change and sustainable development, has garnered international recognition. Canada played a crucial role in the negotiation and signing of the Paris Agreement in 2015, signaling its commitment to combating climate change and transitioning to a low-carbon economy. Canada's journey from the fur trade to becoming a global power is a testament to its resilience, adaptability, and commitment to shared values. Canada's role on the world stage is likely to expand further, driven by its economic strength, commitment to multilateralism, and pursuit of a sustainable future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe.